Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Make This Happen, where we discuss an idea we've been dying to see come alive. Every week, my friend Jay Yee and myself, Alex Gonzalez, will bring you a product you never knew you needed. Belts. We all need them. They won the war against suspenders.
That was a joke from last week.
It's a callback now. There's a couple things that belts don't do well. You got to constantly buy belts. If you lose weight, if you gain weight, and also belt stretch.
Yeah.
Belt buckles, the polish leaves. Mm-hmm. I want to create a belt that has not only replaceable parts, but very good replaceable parts. Because also, we do know reversible belts suck. By and large, they always break. Have you ever had reversible belts? Buckles?
I still use reversible belts.
Don't they always break, the clasps?
I guess. I don't think I've ever had one break on me. I think the reason I had to replace them is either I lose them or what happens for me with belts a lot of time, especially leather belts, the hole just starts getting bigger and bigger where you put the little bit in. And eventually, it just doesn't hold anymore is the reason why I buy new belts, because the leather hole just gets too big. Or it starts getting like dry and starts like cracking in some areas.
Usually on this show, we're creating things and we're making them smart. We're inputting technology. We're giving them energy. I want to take it a little bit old school for now. Our foundational belt. We are going to go new, but for now, we're going to go old school. Our foundational belt that we're going to use is going to be made of very nice leather. What's up?
Real quick before you continue, already we have the name of this belt. They're called Foundation.
Exactly. And it is a belt that's going to have an extensive warranty because we're building this belt to last. It's going to be made out of rainbow material. And at first, you're going to put the belt on. And like any good leather, you're going to be like, this is uncomfortable as fuck. It actually settles in.
Do you mean rainbow material, like the leather that Rainbow uses for rainbow sandals?
Yeah.
At first, I was
like, I'm literally taking pieces of rainbow.
I was like, are we making this out of light?
Out of positive vibes. And we're going to take it and it's going to settle into you. And because of that, every belt is going to have its own distinct coloration going on with it. And we're going to guarantee that these belts will not wear out as long as you don't get them wet, put them in fire, take it off and try to whip your kids with it if people still do that nowadays. Stuff of that nature. And I want it to be a very good belt with very nice metal clasps. I want the holes to have metal on the inside of them so they never get stretched out. I want the binding to be nice. I want there to be nice clasps. I want each belt to be made to order.
We're going to kill a cow every time someone orders our belts.
Well, no, there should be leather hanging up. We're not gonna go that far.
Okay.
When it's like, Jay, they built a belt, and you're just like sitting there with the gun. I'll be back.
No, it's more like we're using a double barrel shotgun.
Jesus.
Bam.
No,
right
we're gonna have to make it humane. We're gonna have to make this somehow humane. We get old fashioned from even the way we kill our cows and skin them.
We could just use like fake leather, right? We don't have to use real leather.
No, we don't have to use real leather. We're going to give them the choice of what kind of leather to use, but we are going to have real leather there. If need be, we can make it sustainable.
Yeah, for sure. First thing that came to mind is you said sustainable, or not sustainable. You said moddable. So I see each of our belts is going to have 3 pieces. And how I think this is going to work is it's going to have the main belt, the buckle, and then the whole parts of the belt. And what I mean by the whole parts, like I mentioned, the holes, they don't last very long, especially if you like to wear your pants up and tight and you don't want them to move down. That hole that is your size hole is going to start stretching and ripping throughout years.
That's
So
why I want it made to order, because usually you get it and it's like 36 to 46 and you're like,
right.
there's a whole bunch of extra holes I don't need. I'd rather have a size differential for the customer.
Yeah, that's why I think the main belt is always going to be, not always, but there's going to maybe be two kind of sizes for the main belt that has no holes. And then at the very end of that belt, there's like a metal thing with like a little like a little latch, and you just press that latch and it pulls out, kind of like how Apple Watches work for with their bands. And you can interchange new hole parts whenever you want,
Yeah.
right? And then those will have different lengths and sizes as well, and it'll just be where the holes are, and then you could just, you know, put that new one in. It might look weird because it's going to be new leather versus weathered leather at that point, but it's going to wear and tear super quick because that's where you're always putting it through the metal clasp, and then you're
And where you're touching, yeah.
smashing it into the little second loop that you
Belt
put in, so
loop.
it's, yeah, so it stays and stuff like that, so it'll get worn pretty quickly. And then yeah, the buckle, how most interchangeable buckles work, it's just like a button underneath the leather thing. You just open that button and you just take out the buckle, and then you put a new buckle and then button it back down. So I don't see what's wrong with that design. You could probably just keep it like that. Or it could just be
Exactly.
like the Apple Watch thing, like I said earlier, where you just slide it in and out like that. Maybe that'll be better, just because I could see opening up the buckle thing over and over again. The leather will start getting dry and start cracking there. So maybe, yeah, we also just cut it off, put a little metal thing there, and then it's just a slide clasp thing.
I like it. I like it. And that way, we're going to be able to sell you not only different kinds of leather belts, black, brown, dark brown, but also different belt buckles if you're into that. And on top of that, different sizes. And this is going to be so that people who are small can get a belt, people who are big can get a belt, people who are medium or somewhere in the middle, Marge, maybe medium, everyone's going to be able to get a belt here.
Yeah.
And I want it to be stylish
Do you want it to be
and consumer.
stylish, or do you want, because like when I go buy belts, I always, especially a leather belt, I stay around from the braided leathers. I stay around from engraved leathers. I just want a plain strip of leather with a buckle and some holes
Well,
on the other side.
yeah, I mean that's what I mean by such. It'll still have all that, but it's not going to be, for instance, it's not going to be a belt where it's going to have that worn leather look. Instead of it going to be something where there's some kind of vinyl that if you mess with it too much, it starts peeling on you.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's not going to have like the stupid, it looks like it's weathered, so there's still lines and creases all around it, but that's how it comes, you know?
Exactly.
That's going to be made by you over time naturally, which I really
Right.
dig, because I mean, you know, me and my jeans, that's how I like my jeans. So
And that's the consumer I want to target, is the people who are really into denim. This is finally going to give them the opportunity to invest in the accessories such as a belt.
yeah.
Now, that's foundation. I want there to be another belt, an exercise belt.
Mm,
And it's going to split off into two different products. There's going to be a runner's belt and a weightlifting belt. The
mm,
weightlifting belt's also going to use our patented leather technology with the clasps and everything, but it's going to protect you while weightlifting.
hmm.
And these are going to be a bit more stylized because they're worn on the outside of clothing.
Exactly. I could
And I
also
think you're.
see
Mhm.
pockets to like add weights as well. Like, I don't know if you use that in weightlifting, because I don't use weight. I don't use the belt because I'm not lifting that much when I deadlift or hang clean or anything like that. So I've never had to use one of these things. But would there be any reason to put like pockets so you could put weights in those pockets?
Not necessarily. You could add pockets for like chalk if you wanted to, like an
Mm-hmm.
inside lined pocket so you can get your chalk out. You can do one for like your cell phone if you so chose, like in the front, if you care about that stuff.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I just want it to be a nice belt with a nice clasp where you could customize it, maybe have different patterns and like, stamped on it,
Mm-hmm.
or have a really nice logo and go from there.
Yeah.
And then I want there to be a runner's belt, which is going to be a little bit more high tech. And this belt is going to be something that fits around you, that would hold your phone, that would hold maybe a water bottle, but also illuminates in the darkness so that people can see you without you having to worry about reflective clothing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. For
Basically, we're
sure.
going to make it so people understand that belts are an incredible technology and it's actually needed in this world. but is commonly slept on.
Yeah. So both of these things are gonna have like D rings on them, or like I don't know, some like you want belts that have like D rings or like clasps or like clips on them, so you can clip stuff
Not
on,
the
right?
Yeah, the runner's belt is gonna have yeah, some of them are the weightlifting belt may have a D ring or not. It's gonna be more of a classic style belt. The runner's belt may have a D ring on it. That one's gonna be more of a new age belt where it's not gonna be
Yeah,
made of
it's not
leather
gonna
because
be
you can't
leather, right?
sweat into
Yeah,
leather.
yeah. It's gonna be more like whatever the stretchy material is.
Right.
Velcro? Is that what it is? No, it's not
And it
Velcro.
could no, I was thinking we make it even cooler because this runner's belt I want to double into and make it so people who start to rave and party pick this belt up because it's going to have different lights that they could use.
For sure. What do you also think? Now, this is a crazy idea. I don't know why this is where I thought you were going to go in with this belt. I think it's when you said moddable. This came to mind. But what if we made a all metal belt that kind of has the design of like a watch band? So each inch is a removable chain link.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean? And so that way you could definitely just make it the perfect size for you, because you could just interchange however many of these chains that you want on your watch like belt, and then it just kind of clips in, kind of like how we could change the clasp if you want it like a belt style clasp, or if you want it like belt like seatbelt, I mean, or like a metal like opening clasp type of thing. Like you change the clasp, but it's like an
We
all metal kind
I
of
see that for
deal.
sure. I like the idea. I think it'd be cool for all metal. It's gonna definitely with those kinds of belts, we're just have to be careful that it doesn't pinch fat or anything. You have
Hmm.
to wear them high and tight.
Also has to be
And
made out of aluminum or something like that.
mhm,
Something light.
definitely so. And then we're gonna have to put in a little card saying this product is not used or made or intended to be used as a weapon. Please do not use it as a weapon.
Jesus Christ. Just a metal whip.
Just waka, waka. So it's like, no, please. That would hurt a lot until
That would
it'd
hurt a
basically
lot.
be like Ivy from Soul
Oh,
Calibur,
it would.
right?
That's exactly what it is. It's Ivy's sword. Yeah.
So we'd have to be careful with that a little bit.
Right.
Um,
But I mean, I could see that as kind of like a crazy, like high fashion
yeah, because
type of belt. And I
you
could
can
see
make a
this
rose
more
gold
as,
one. You can make
yeah.
a gold one.
I could
Definitely.
see some men wearing it. Like it could be like a cool, like it could even be like within the cool, like middle-aged goth culture where they wear really expensive, nice clothes with a metal belt, or it could be
Hmm.
just high fashion New Yorker
And
females that wear it too.
And you can do collaborations as well with different watch companies. So maybe
Mm,
like Seiko or Rolex comes
the
out and like
Rolex
collabs
belt.
with the belt. Yeah.
How much do you think a Rolex belt? And the buckle is gonna be made out of diamonds.
So like at that point, it's probably gonna be like 12 grand,
Ugh,
15,
I think you're putting it down a little bit. I think it's
like
gonna be
20
way more
grand.
than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like 20, 22 grand
Yeah, it's gonna
for
be
a
expensive.
belt. That's gonna be some shit where like you're gonna want to make sure it doesn't scratch
I can't even
on
think of how
anything.
much a Rolex costs right now, but I think they're a lot more than both of us think.
10 grand, 12 grand, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm looking up how much Rolex watch costs. Yeah, 10 grand. I mean, there's one here that's 500, but that's probably
I
very
don't know if
special.
that's
Yeah,
yeah.
it looks like they range from 5,000 to over like multiple hundreds of thousands.
And I think that's where the metal ones are going to have those special belt buckles
Hmm.
that are going to communicate different things or have different. And you're right, that's where it's going to be the high fashion or like um, different sports players or people like that showing up to events would have these kinds of things. And then we could eventually branch out where our belts are used for like purse clasps, like
Oh
over the
yeah.
shoulder or like substitute them for backpack straps where we still slowly start branching into that.
Yeah,
Where
maybe we could like, you know how the Sports Sack or whatever has like their Sanrio
Mhm.
collaboration. We'll do shit like that where we've collaborated with Louis Vuitton and their new cross something clutch. I don't know what purses are called. The fucking strap to that purse will have the exclusive foundation metal strap.
that's there we go. And I don't know what company would make this. It almost because we made our own company here. So
Um,
at
I don't know.
Pound, make this happen.
Big
We got to get
belt.
on this. Huh?
Big belt.
Is Big Belt a company?
No, I don't know.
Big Belt, make this happen. Thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or products you'd like to see talked about, feel free to write in at outpoundgames@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join our family, come find us at patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early, meaning Make This Happen gets to your ears that much sooner. If you enjoyed our show, take a second to give us a review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store, and more. Catch you guys next Sunday with Jay's brilliant idea.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
Yes,
So needed.
very much
So
so
necessary.
nowadays. But remember, hand sanitization does not substitute for washing your hands properly
Fuck no.
or as a shower.
I would hate to shower in hand sanitizer.
I see
would
people
hate
do it, man. People do
would-
it.
You know, there's this thing called I don't know if I should put this in the end of the